It was a bright morning in Maplewood, a small, peaceful town where everyone seemed to know everyone else. Yet, beneath its charm, there were unspoken tensions. I had been living there for years and thought I'd seen it all, until I witnessed something that left me both furious and inspired. The story began with Marie, a single mom who had recently moved into our neighborhood. Marie was in her late 20s, with a quiet strength that radiated through her every move. She worked tirelessly to provide for her son, Jaden, a curious 6-year-old with a love for dinosaurs. Marie had rented a modest 2-bedroom apartment in a complex owned by Mr. Harrington, a man known for his strict rules and, frankly, his thinly veiled prejudice. He was in his 60s, with a sharp voice and an even sharper temper. From the moment Marie moved in, it was clear that Mr. Harrington had an issue with her. He rarely smiled in her presence and often muttered under his breath when he saw her. I'd overheard him once, grumbling about people who don't belong here. It made my blood boil. Marie, however, didn't let it show. She was focused on her work, her son, and making their small apartment a home. One afternoon, while I was watering my plants, I noticed Mr. Harrington storming up the stairs to Marie's apartment. He was clutching a piece of paper and looked angrier than I'd ever seen him. I couldn't help but overhear their conversation. "You're late on rent," he barked, shoving the paper toward her. Marie stepped outside, holding Jaden's hand. "I'm sorry, Mr. Harrington," she said calmly. "I tried calling you earlier to explain. My paycheck was delayed, but I'll have the rent by tomorrow." "Tomorrow isn't good enough," he snapped. "I've had enough of your excuses. You're out of here. Consider this your eviction notice." Marie's face fell. "Please, Mr. Harrington," she pleaded. "I've never missed a payment before. This is the first time, and it's not my fault. I just need one more day." But he wasn't listening. "You people always have excuses," he spat. "You're lucky I even let you move in here in the first place." The words hit like a slap. I saw the hurt flash across Marie's face, but she stood tall, holding Jaden's hand tightly. "Fine," she said quietly, her voice trembling. "We'll leave." As Mr. Harrington walked away, muttering under his breath, I felt an overwhelming urge to intervene. But before I could say anything, Marie turned and saw me. "It's okay," she said, forcing a small smile. "We'll figure something out." I nodded, unsure of what else to say. The next few days were tense. Marie began packing her belongings, and Jaden, too young to fully understand, asked why they had to leave their new home. Marie tried to reassure him, but I could see the strain in her eyes. Then, a few days later, something unexpected happened. I was sitting on my porch when I noticed a sleek black car pull up in front of the apartment complex. A tall, confident woman in a navy blue suit stepped out, carrying a leather briefcase. She looked around before heading straight to Marie's door. Curiosity got the better of me, and I leaned closer to hear what was going on. The woman introduced herself as Victoria Hayes. She was poised, professional, and had an air of authority that made you sit up straighter just looking at her. "Marie, I've been briefed on your situation," she said. "I'm here to help." Marie looked surprised. "Who sent you?" Victoria smiled. "Let's just say you have someone in your corner who believes in justice." The two talked for a while, and I could only catch bits and pieces of their conversation. What I did gather was that Marie had decided to fight the eviction, and Victoria was there to represent her. Later, I learned that Victoria wasn't just any lawyer, she was the Attorney General for our state. The next day, Marie and Victoria showed up at Mr. Harrington's office. I couldn't resist following at a distance to see what would happen. Mr. Harrington was sitting at his desk looking smug as usual, but his confidence faltered the moment Victoria walked in. "Who are you?" he asked, frowning. "I'm Victoria Hayes," she said, extending her hand. "I'm here as legal counsel for Marie Johnson." He didn't shake her hand. "Legal counsel? For what? She's being evicted because she didn't pay her rent." Victoria placed a folder on his desk and opened it. "Actually, Mr. Harrington, Marie's rent payment was delayed due to circumstances beyond her control, which she communicated to you. Your refusal to grant her an extension is not only unreasonable, but also a violation of tenant rights under state law." Mr. Harrington's face turned red. "She still didn't pay on time," he insisted. Victoria didn't flinch. "Let's talk about that, shall we?" I've reviewed your history as a landlord, and I noticed a troubling pattern. You've repeatedly targeted tenants of color with harsh penalties and, in some cases, unlawful evictions. That's called discrimination, Mr. Harrington, and it's illegal. He was stunned into silence. Marie spoke up then, her voice steady. I just want a chance to provide a stable home for my son. That's all I've ever wanted. Victoria closed the folder. Here's what's going to happen, she said firmly. You will retract the eviction notice immediately and allow Marie to stay. If you fail to comply, I'll take this case to court and ensure that justice is served. For a moment, the room was silent. Mr. Harrington looked between Marie and Victoria, realizing he was outmatched. Fine, he muttered, avoiding their eyes. She can stay. Marie let out a breath she didn't realize she'd been holding. Thank you, she said, her voice filled with gratitude. As they walked out of the office, I couldn't help but cheer quietly from my hiding spot. That evening, I saw Marie sitting on the steps of her apartment, watching Jaden play with his toy dinosaurs. I walked over to congratulate her. You stood up for yourself, I said. I'm so proud of you. She smiled. I couldn't have done it without Victoria, she said. But more than that, I realized something today. No one has the right to take away your dignity, no matter who they are. Her words stayed with me. Marie's story wasn't just about fighting an unfair eviction. It was about resilience, courage, and the importance of standing up for what's right. From that day on, Marie became a symbol of strength in our neighborhood. And Mr. Harrington, let's just say he started being a lot more careful about how he treated his tenants. As for me, I learned an important lesson. Sometimes the people who seem the most vulnerable are the strongest of all. Hey everyone. Thank you so much for watching this emotional and inspiring story. If it touched your heart or made you reflect on the importance of standing up for what's right, we'd really appreciate your support. Give this video a thumbs up if you believe in justice and fairness for everyone. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever witnessed or experienced something similar? What would you have done in Marie's situation? Your stories and opinions inspire us and this amazing community. And if you enjoy stories like this, filled with unexpected twists, heartfelt moments, and valuable life lessons, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss another story. By liking, commenting, and subscribing, you're not just supporting this channel, you're helping us share stories that matter with people all over the world. Together, we can make a difference, one story at a time. Thank you for being here, for watching, and for being part of this incredible community. We'll see you in the next video.